Hi, my name is Evodio Walle, Vice President of Hispanic Chamber of Concord City County, and I'm out here with Pablo Benavente, who is running for City Council in these upcoming elections in November. Pablo is going to share with us a little bit about what he's got in store in terms of, his outreach that he's doing here during this campaign season and what he envisions for City Council in the upcoming term.
Well, when coming to, envisioning to Concord City Council, right now the Concord City Council is fully Caucasian. We're not representing the minority community, the Hispanic community. 60% of the population here in Concord is Caucasian, and 30% is Latino, Hispanic, and then you've got the 10%, Native American, African American, Asian communities. So I feel like we have a very unique opportunity to bring representation to the constituency who is not equally represented here in the City Council. And so I hope to be the voice to, the residents of Concord, especially the minority, bring that voice, the Monument Corridor, the Sun Terrace, everywhere in Concord. So I hope to be that voice to the City Council, to the Concord City Council, and adequately represent the constituency.
Well, thank you, Pablo. So, as you all know, Concord City County is comprised of about 25% Hispanics, and certainly in Concord, I believe that percentage is even higher. So, it certainly is something that would be welcomed by that growing segment of the county and of the district. So, are there any particular regulatory issues that you'd like to, focus on?
Well, yes, I want to, bring more businesses into Concord. Right now, we're seeing a lot of for sale, for lease, and we need to make sure cut the red tape and make sure that businesses stay in Concord and contribute to our local economy while creating local jobs for Concord residents. And with the naval weapons station that's going on, is going to create 26,000 jobs. And so we have quite the opportunity here to bring more businesses into Concord. And especially to those minorities here in Concord too.
Fantastic. So what are some of the specific issues that you'd like to see changed first when, coming into City Council? Is there a prioritization that you see for addressing some of this?
Yes, I guess we need to streamline, the process for applications for businesses to come into Concord, make it easier for them to come here. Because, again, we need to make sure that when they come here, it's easy for them to stay here and not make it complicated. I've heard from some business people that there's a lot of paperwork involved in the City of Concord, and so making it easier for them to stay here, it'll be beneficial for the community and for everybody who lives in Concord.
Sure. And what is your level of experience in this area, or what do you bring to the table that you feel you want to leverage in this, you can say like a job? Yeah.
Well, I was born and raised. I was born in Texas, but raised in Mexico, and then came here. Been living here since I was 10 years old, and so I think what I can bring here is, the millennial voice, the Latino voice, into, creating more jobs for the minority. And also, we have a family business, we are a meat distributor, and so we contribute to a lot of the Latino markets here, Las Montañas and all that. So I know that we can better the process here in Concord and, open business for everybody.
Well, that's very interesting, Pablo. So, as you know, right now Concord has a pretty dynamic political landscape, and we've got a lot of issues going on here, like what's going on with the Naval Weapons Station. We've got the homeless issues. Basically, there are housing-related challenges. What are some of your responses to some of these things that are going on right now in Concord?
Yeah, well, right now the Naval Weapons Station, it's, there's 25% supposed to be for affordable housing. We need to make sure that we have affordable housing for single parents, for seniors who have a fixed income. We need to have for the lower income, middle class, lower income, affordable housing. And also, the Naval Weapons Station, 6 million square feet for commercial use. So that will create, for more jobs here in Concord. And we need to make sure that we bring Concord together. A lot of people are talking, Concord's going to split into, the new part and, Todos Santos, Monument. And it's like, and we got to think different. This is going to unite us, make us stronger, and bring Concord together. There's different communities. The Latinos live in Monument and everything. Well, what can we do to bring them together, bring integrity into our community? And so, I lived in Sun Terrace before, and now I live on Clayton Road, and Todos Santos Plaza will always be a place where we all come together, with the concerts here on Thursdays, the farmers market, the off the grid, I think we're not separating Concord. We just need to find ways to better bring Concord together, like maybe have the farmers market and monument one week, and the other week can be here, and the other week it can be in the new developed area of Concord. There's a lot of things that we can do in City Council to better bring the community together and make it stronger. We're the biggest city in the county, so how can we bring them together? That's the question we need to be asking right now.
Well, what are some of the areas here within Contra Costa County that you feel need to be tackled first?
Well, definitely right now, we're seeing right now since January until now, and for example, some in the Monument Corridor, some of the rents have gone up by $600. That's a lot for a 2-bedroom and a 1-bath. We need to make sure that the City of Concord takes on this challenge and, find ways to better help our community. And even right now, we need to make sure that there's code enforcement. If you have cockroaches, if the roof is falling, the city right now can take action and enforce that the code is being followed. The code enforcement, make sure that they're not living in very harsh circumstances, that they can enforce the law that is already in place, and then later come up with a rent control stabilization.
Well, that certainly sounds like a refreshing perspective, and we can certainly appreciate the new blood coming into the City Council. You mentioned, wanting to kind of, bring that millennial influence, and so certainly it sounds like you've got your ear to the ground. Are there any additional things you'd like to tell us here in closing, just to kind of help us understand, what your approach is going to be going into City Council? Yes,
well, I'm a millennial and I'm a Latino, so if elected, when I get elected, I'll be the first millennial to ever be elected, the youngest ever, and the second one to serve in the City Council. And me being young, it's an investment for the future of the community, because you never know where I will end up in 20 years. It's an investment for the community, for our children, and for everybody who shares the same views as everybody here.
Well, thank you very much, Pablo, for coming out here. And as you all know here, the Hispanic Chamber of Commerce is a nonpartisan entity, and we're going to be interviewing the upcoming candidates here for this City Council election. So thank you very much, Pablo, for coming out and sharing your thoughts.
Pleasure. Thank you so much for the opportunity.